I'll give you the secret. Oh, shoot. I don't know what it's doing now. Hold on. I'm forgetting something. I don't remember what I forget now. Okay, now it's okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week's Shabbat Shalom. Today is Friday, June the 12th, 2021. And it's a nice spring day. June the 11th. It's a nice spring day, you know, just the right temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. So we'll begin with Shalom Aleichem. Light the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu malech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav tzevanu leharlik ner shel Shabbat.
Very good, and thank you. And now we'll do the Kiddush. Yom HaShisi v'yachulu hashamayim zvar v'chol sevam. V'chal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melato asher asa. V'yishba b'yom hashvi'i mikol melato asher asa. V'yirech Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melato asher asa. V'yirech Elohim hashvi'i b'kadesh oto. Ki boi Shabbat mikol melato asher Elohim asot. So we are now botai. Baruch atah Adonai Hiro Cholam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Hiro Cholam asher albanu. V'shabbat kodsho ba'ara u'asan hiltanu. V'yikam l'masei breshit. Ki hiyu mikol zechel etziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu b'charta v'otanu kidashta Mikol Amim. V'shabbat katsha ba'ara u'varsan hiltadu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We will now sing Heveinu Shalom Aleichem. Now we'll sing or say Shalom. We'll now sing Tum Balalaika. Singing and this week's Torah portion. So this week's Torah portion is called Korach. It's from the book of Numbers, section 16, verse 18. So Korach incite a mutiny, challenging Moses' leadership and the granting of the priesthood to Aaron. He is accompanied by Moses, Dathan, and Abraham. Joining them are 250 distinguished members of the community who offer the Ketoret, incense, to prove their worthiness for the priesthood. The earth opens up and swallows the mutineers, and a fire consumes the Ketoret offerers. A subsequent plague is started by Aaron's offering of Ketoret. Aaron's staff miraculously blossoms and brings forth almonds to prove that his designation as a high priest is divinely ordained. God commands the uplifting, or the truma, from each crop of grain, wine, and oil, as well as all the firstborn sheep and cattle, and other specified gifts be given to the Kohanim, or the priest. So that's a short little summary of Korach, or this week's Parsha, and the book of Numbers, book section 16, verse 18. We will now sing Jerusalem Above. Now sing Stand Up, Sit Up. All right, now we'll sing Mashiach. Now we'll do a little bit about, so there's no holiday really coming up until September. So we'll be talking more about Israel. And today, this is about Tel Aviv. And Tel Aviv is one of the major cities in Israel. Actually, Tel Aviv is more like a Canadian or American city, very vibrant. So it's 51.4 kilometers or 19.8 square miles. A couple of years ago, when it was the last updated, it has 451,523 people. That was the population. They go by the Israel time, so from Canada, it would be 7 hours ahead, or from Toronto, 7 hours ahead. So the city of Tel Aviv Yafo is a municipality in Israel. Usually it's called Tel Aviv Yafo, but people just know it as Tel Aviv. It's Israel's second largest city and main commercial, financial, industrial center. It's on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. It's part of an area of cities called Gush Dan. The city calls itself Israel's capital of culture, economy, and trade. A little about the history. In 1909, Jewish people started building Tel Aviv, north of Jaffa. Tel Aviv was part of Jaffa at first, but it became a separate town in 1921. Tel Aviv grew quickly as Jewish immigrants arrived, mainly from Europe. Between 1925 and 1929, the Scottish city planner, Sir Patrick Geddes, designed the first city plan for Tel Aviv. In the early 1930s, the area Yarkon River area had begun to develop with the opening of the International Trade Fair, the Orient Fair, and the opening of the Tel Aviv port. From the other side of the Yarkon River was built the Reading Power Station and the Sodod Airport. It was Israel's first capital when the nation was established in 1948. 1 year later, the capital was moved to Jerusalem. However, they still had many foreign embassies stay in Tel Aviv. Most of the Israeli government offices are also in Tel Aviv. In 1950, Tel Aviv and Jaffa, called Yafo in Hebrew, joined the city of Tel Aviv Yafo. Tel Aviv Yafo is the official name of the city, but mostly people call it just Tel Aviv. It continued to grow in the 1950s and 60s. The fast growth of Tel Aviv area caused problems with air pollution and loss of traffic. And this was started to get fixed in the beginning of the 2000s. Most of the people at Tel Aviv live in apartment buildings, not so many houses. During the Persian Gulf War in 1991, Iraq fired 25 missiles toward Tel Aviv. And unfortunately, they struck residential areas. And 7,500 apartments were slightly damaged in that. About the cultural life. So the cultural center of Tel Aviv, downtown intersection of the street called Düsseldorf. There's a lot of fashionable shops and sidewalk cafes in the area. The 37-story Shalom Tower is in the city's financial district, several blocks from the Düsseldorf Circle. It's the tallest building in Israel, The Israeli Opera and Habima Theater, with Israel's National Theater, are in Tel Aviv, as well as many art galleries, cafes, restaurants, and nightclubs. Tel Aviv is home to a number of dance centers and companies. The Batsheva Dance Company, a contemporary dance group, as well as the Bat Dor Dance Company and Israeli Ballet, are headquartered in Tel Aviv. Museums in Tel Aviv include the Haaretz Museum and the Tel Aviv Art Museum. We also have the Tel Aviv University, which is one of the city's institutional higher learning. Another one is Bar Ilan University in Ramat Gan, which is a suburb of Tel Aviv, and Bar Ilan is a more orthodox university for religious people. The Tel Aviv area is Israel's main manufacturing district. About half the nation's business companies are in the area. Their products include computer software, electronic equipment, machine tools, building materials, chemicals, clothing, and processed foods. The city is also the country's main center for banking, publishing, and is home to the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. So that's just a little bit about Tel Aviv. We'll now do some regular songs, and I'm sure you'll know them. Joy, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head in cry. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Dear, I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Always love you and make you happy. You will always be the same. But I believe We'll now do Adol Olam and Tikva. That concludes Shabbat for this week. Have a good week. We'll see everybody next week. A quick song, Shabbat Shalom song.